Hey guys, welcome back to the Space Agency. I'm Wandering Kid. So, I've been getting frustrated with my ion designs, and out of just raw curiosity, I wanted to see what my baseline PWR could be and my baseline delta V could be. But nothing else strapped onto this thing, 0.46 and 11,000 delta V. I just strap two tanks onto the side, I go to 0.4. And strap an Octo 2 across the top, I go to 0.37. In theory, this is all I would actually need, other than, batteries. And the problem is obviously this thing won't have enough power to carry itself, well, anywhere. But I was curious to see what simple TWR max would be, which is 0.55. And if I don't use that gas tank, instead grab a smaller one. Maximum TWR, Kerbin anyway, for an ion drive is 0.64 with fuel. Okay. Now if they shared fuel, obviously they'd get a little better. Here. Strap one of these on. No, these aren't lined up, I know. So I could get to 0.72. Obviously my delta V goes to pot, but... So I'm just sitting here thinking and exploring and imagining and debating and things of that nature. That's a decent amount of delta V with plenty of TWR though. Thinking we do something like this. So there we go, we're at the exact same delta V. Something like this could work. Because we abuse massless parts, I do some stunt like this. Notice we're not changing our TWR. We're not, well, weight down here is changing. Up here, it shouldn't, because these are massless. Notice I'm not gaining any weight, even though these things do have some. So I'm debating on doing something of this nature to the rover. The problem is even though this doesn't have mass, it does increase part count. Start throwing 3, 4, 5 of these things onto one of your ships, and you are going to have a part count FPS failure. But for single usage or something I can just drop off at Moon and leave there and do tons and tons of survey missions, might be worth it. But that brings us back to just simply playing with this. We know this design in general works, even if it is a bit shaky and screwy. I still don't trust that I've got these wheels straight, because if I look at it from top down, I can already tell that that wheel isn't straight. Let's start with this. Goodbye. Try that again. Goodbye, wheels. I'm going to reattach all this. Don't ask me why the Octo was attached to that. I am not sure, but we'll put it back later. Yeah, that looks nice and clean, right? Not. That looks like the beginning of some wheels. At least this way you're not arguing with 3 different forms of angle. So if we copy... Oops. We copy that. Well, that's got possibilities. For those curious, here's the center of mass on this. It'd be nice if it was lower, but I'm not quite sure how to get it lower without seriously compromising the setup. Actually, I may have a way. If I remove that, where does my center of mass go? It looks about the same. Well, no, it does drop a hair. Because these batteries shouldn't be doing anything. Nope. You're not. Oh, that's right. That's the root node. So it's either the xenon container or the, what do you call it? Oh, the inline reaction wheel. Now let's try something here. Take you off. Excuse me. Center of mass looks cleaner this way. Alright, hang on a second. Now I did want to stick a spare battery onto this and shut it off before we even go out the door. Just as an, oh, did we just do that kind of battery. I'm going to tweak you off. Now it's still showing available, so I'm not sure whether this is doing what I want it to or not. But we'll see. We'll see if that acts the way I expect it to. Now, if we take some fuel, and we do this a little differently. So if I take the fuel and I stick it way out here instead. Trying to keep these even is going to be interesting. Very interesting. You know what? Maybe I do this a little differently. Let's take that off. We'll get one of these figured out, and then we will do the rest. Now, we take the xenon container, put it in like try that again. Put it on like so. Keep it close to the center. Now, do an offset with it. Yeah, that may work out. Alright, so I need to... I may need to move that out a little bit just so I can grab things. One that way, one that way. Yeah, that may work out. Still have a decent TWR, 0.43. I've upped my delta V a bit. Looks like I got my center of mass a bit more cleaned up. I do need to reattach all of my solar panels, but we'll get there in a second. Hang on. Oops. What's the mass difference on these? You are 0.025, 0.0175. Yeah, it makes a difference. It's hard for me to... Okay, I can kind of get there. Yeah, this is now so low, I'm not sure if this is going to work the way I want it to. Let's see. Really, why can't I drag you out any? Okay. One that way, one this way? Nope. Alright. If I rotate you a bit. This may work. We'll put it on the pad and see if they expand or not. So now, Fuzzy One had mentioned, for action groups, I could put these into the abort group. That seems like a good place rather than RCS. Keeps them out of the way. There's nothing really I'm going to be aborting on this. So that brings our TWR down to 0.38. We're getting down to where it's problematic. And I just moved my screen size. Gosh darn it. So the next thing we need to put on here, and finally, is some wheels. We'll just strap them on for the moment, and then we'll play with them and get them cleaned up. Obviously, that's not going to work long term, but we'll get there. Okay, now I'm looking at the design, and it looks pretty good, except for the fact that I don't think I'm going to clear my landing gear with these wheels. So either I move the landing gear up, or I move the wheels down. I'm going to move the wheels down. There, I think we're just clearing the landing gear. All right, one final piece to slap onto this. Well, a couple, actually. I want to strut this up so it doesn't wander all over the place on me. There we go. Hopefully we have a much sturdier rover. And our final piece of the puzzle. Alright, let's go take this out to the pad and see how it behaves. Note, I need to put Kerr into it. Front, back. Okay, we are clearing our landing gear. That's good. Break for a second. Let's go take it for a quick wander around KSP, huh? Jammed on something. There we go. Man, I hate the crawlway. I run into more random stuff on that crawlway. Let's go over here. It's responsive. I'm liking it. Now, let's put it into docking mode. Oops, blew a tire. I swear, there are so many random things on KSP grounds to run into. But still, even with one blown tire, it's still kind of cooking along here. Alright, so electric charge is at 2002. It thinks it's using all of it. We're going to do a quick test here and see if I shut off at 400 left. While we're at it, I'm going to break this for a second. My solar panels run into each other? No, very nice. You know what? I'm just going to park this over here, and eventually it's going to run out of juice. In the meanwhile, the 2C needs a little adjustment. First off, I need to get a care unit on it. I remember trying to get at this thermostat last time and having a dog of a time trying to get at it. So what we're going to do is we're going to strap these across the front. Make them easier to find. There. Should make them a lot easier to find. Let's see, what else do I want to do? I was thinking about putting on lights, but I'm not sure that there's any value to that. And it does hold a ton of juice, so lights might be useful. Alright, this way I can eliminate the terrain, my craft, and everything else all in one shot. And finally my brain kicks in and just says, hey, ignite the ion engines. Durr. So, the moment of truth, does shutting off that battery mean that the power is inaccessible? Yes, yes it does. Now, if I turn the battery on, it kicks back over. If I turn the... Oh, that's weird. I thought I shut this off before and it considered it accessible. Well, that's good to know, so I can keep a spare battery on things. Alright, let's recover that. So, I liked how the TES-2c handled. I think this is a viable design. We're gonna go take her for a spin up to Moon. Alright, I think our TES-2c launcher, Two-Eyed Spider-2c, is ready for a launch. We have 3 stages. We've got some backs for initial liftoff. We've got some spare tanks to get us through most of Atmo. We've got should be able to inject and orbit up at Moon using the center stage, if I've got my math right. And possibly braking burn as well, as long as I don't screw up my orbital pathing. Now let's take it for a walk. Alright, barring any significant tragedies, and which includes me forgetting to control from the correct location, this should be a pretty standard orbit, so... So I'd been worried about what the solar panels were going to do when they ran into the main fuselage of the injector, but apparently they just don't care. Well, that works for me. We came up to orbit with 1.7K in Delta V, more than enough for an injection and braking burn, so we should be able to get the 2C out to Moon. And we'll give her a check. So I'm bringing in the TES-2c, and I noticed that I've got nearly a perfect placement to try for these temperature landing marks. So we're going to see if we can't pull off a landing. So once I get, let's see, near here, I want to break down to roughly like that. Yeah, somewhere in that realm. I need to start burning now. So this is the TES-2c. And I'm going to bring in our solar panels before we care about anything. Nice. Okay, so I've fired up the ion engines, but those are off at the moment. We're going to decouple our node. Let's swing ourselves over. I'll make sure I'm controlling from the correct point. We'll start up our ion engines, and we'll... Whoops. Redeploy that. Okay, so my surface speed is 51. Let's see, where am I landing abouts? Okay, so I actually need to head over that way a bit. Yeah, we're going to overshoot a little bit, but so be it. Let's kill our horizontal something significant. Okay, I gotta be careful. I don't want to screw up my suicide burn time. Once I've gotten this down to a controlled landing point, I can always come back at this. Okay, we've killed most of our horizontal. Now we're just going to take out some of the vertical. Okay, we've gotten to a reasonable landing speed. Okay, I'm going to bring in the solar panels for landing. Gear is out. Whoops. Keep our sails at a nice gentle 5.5, I think. .4 works. Alright, we're down. Ooh, good landing. Alright. Now, let's see how this rover behaves itself. Gear up. Control from there. Let's get ourselves turned. Not too shabby. Let's see how she drives. Whoa, 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 whoa. Docking mode. There we go. All our wheels are good. Turn off SAS. There we go. Oh yeah, this is handling much better. It goes straight. All those lovely things that you'd like in a rover. I'm gonna grab our recharge while we cruise here. Hey look, our lights work. Alright, before I brake, we'll bring these in. Awesome. I think I finally have a working ion rover. It's not the strongest GWR, it's only just shy of 2.0 here. That's okay. It's having a problem on this hill. There we go. Getting a little worried there. Alright, so let's go cruise around to this other temp, and I'll bring you back in a second. So having just completed our temperature scan, I see a nice little seismic scan going on over there. So we're going to set that up next. We'll grab a recharge while I'm sitting here, and we'll put our gear out. While I figure out where I'm going. Alright, let's bring the gear in. I'm going to turn off the brakes. I'm going to aim in that general direction. There we go. Put our brakes back on. Get our gear out. Now, control from up here. Fire up our ions. Turn on SAS so that we stop wandering around like lunatics. Why can I not get control? What's going on? Something has happened. I have no control. I am not accepting keyboard input. Oh wait, yes I am. I'm in docking mode, that's why. Oof, okay. That was not pretty. Okay, now I'm purposely going to overshoot the mark by a decent amount so that I'm not fighting with horizontal and vertical simultaneously as I try and come in. Alright. This should be alright. We'll see how this works out. I'm not sure there's a safe way to approach this at all. Let's see here. Add a maneuver there to get us a break. It's a near 2-minute burn. Push it over them a little bit. Actually, if I push it directly over them, and I bring it straight down, what does that get me? Probably a very dangerous attempt at landing. Oh, let's give it a try and see what the heck happens, huh? Okay, it looks like we're going to land a little in front of them, but that's okay. I think that's a better landing area anyway. Got a suicide burn going. We have very little horizontal speed, but so be it. Okay, we can take a bit off our suicide burn there. I probably should leave that up. At this point, I'll just take a landing. Okay, in case things go horribly wrong, we're going to bring in the solar panels. And hey, we're down. Alright. First things first, let's get a recharge. Before we decide on any other set of actions. Now, you're only 4.5 kilometers away. I am stuck in this little lovely crater, though. If I zoom in and out, I can kind of see what's going on. I don't know if I can get up the walls of that. I may have to ion my way out of here. I think I will. We'll get a full charge, and then we'll get moving again. Alright, we're charged up. Got our ions up and running. Yeah, I don't think I would have been able to rover up over that crater lip. It would have, at best, been difficult. I probably would have had to drive all the way over there and then come back around, and yeah. Alright, we're just wasting Delta V at this point. So, I'm going to land and then rover over. And a good touchdown. Solar panels back out. Bring the gear up. Control from there. Let's go rovering. Oops. Docking, SAS. Brakes. Ooh. Some hairy terrain. No, 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 you don't. There you go. Ooh. Alright, that got a little fun. The heck did I run over? Coming through that ditch just messed with me a bit. Not bad on stability, though. I would have lost the old one. Alright, so one more to go. Let's see what that cliff edge looks like. Oh yeah, this looks like a skateboard ramp waiting to happen. Alright, we're going to give it a go, but I'm going to bring in the solar panels. Liberal use of brakes. As we pull up to the edge of this canyon, or crater, you can take a look, and it's going to be steep. It's already been steep all the way in. But this is going to be pretty hardcore. Hopefully I don't have to go too deep into this. At least it's not in that crater. That would have been ugly. Well, we finally pulled into it. We are way into this crater. This is the closest I think I've ever had to be to a seismic. That clears that contract. Well, we got the brakes on. Go deploy the solar panels. I think I can get to that next one before we get to the dark side. So we're going to try one more. RN72. Alright. At this point, we're just going to put our gear out. Control from there. And we'll get our ions going. I am in docking mode still. There we go. Let's try SAS. Be helpful. So we're going to try the same stunt again. I'm going to burn to overshoot it. I'm going to do a drop down across the top of it. And from there, I'll do a landing burn. Okay, so we've got our arc set up. Next step is to create our landing node. Push that forward a hair. Alright. 2-minute burn. So at 1 minute out, we start our reversal burn. Not even sure I'm going to get past the apoapsis. Oh, barely. So it seems like I'm burning off about 1,000 DV per transfer. So this is good for 4, maybe 5 nodes worth of surveys before it becomes useless. Now what I may do is try and figure out a recovery package. Basically, leave some kind of parachute on a docking port in orbit, attach it up to this thing, and send it back home for the price of all the goods. I believe the big price on it, though, is the xenon, so I'm not sure if there's a lot of value in actually trying to recover them. Now, one thing to be careful of while you're burning this node is to watch your suicide burn distance. At any point that gets too low for comfort, abort the horizontal speed kill and go immediately to saving your butt. You can always come back around for another try. Alright, let's get this centered for landing. Now we wait. And we're down. Alright, let's get ourselves a recharge. I should be in one of the areas. I was. And we're going to go drive around some more. So our lander has one more place to go. It's coming into the dark side though, so this may be a dangerous attempt. But we're going to try it anyway. Just to see if we can't complete all these. So, let's see here. Let's bring in our solar panels. See if we can't locate our target. Take off the brakes. There we go, that away. Head a little west of it. Alright, brakes on. Gear up. Solar panels out. Maybe that wasn't the best time to put the solar panels out, but whatever. Alright, SAS on. Bringing up our engines. Alright, now we just need to set ourselves up a trajectory, which will take us about 2 minutes. So, fast forward. Alright, I think that will work. So, next step is we put in our maneuver here. Bring us down to a landing pattern. There we go. That's a 2-minute 30-second burn. Somewhere roughly around there should give us a good place to start. This will probably be the last site this rover will be able to visit. It's going to be a nasty area to wander around in, but hopefully we can get it done. This is the one where I ran out of juice as I was trying to climb the hill to get to it. I might overshoot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to overshoot. Not sure where I'm going to end up landing it. Alright, let's bring it down a bit. So I want to go that way. Roughly that way. Let's get a little direction. How about this way? There we go. I'm really just hoping to try and get on the other side of this crater rim if I can. Drive the rest of the way. Touchdown. SAS off. Docking mode. Brakes are on. Let's get a recharge. And we're going to take care of this. Alright, looks like we're about good to go here. Our gear down. Put off the brakes and off we go. Whoops. Driving from the wrong point. Oh, I'm right here. How do you like that? Perfect. And that clears all of my moon landers, or moon requirements for the moment. One bald rock. It's unfortunate, but as well as the TES-2c just worked, we're going to have to leave it up here. I'm not going to send in a salvage team for it. Just don't think it's worth it. So, that's also going to end this episode of the agency, I figure. So for our next mission, the Ares helm will be coming in. Now that I got this down, I'm probably just going to use this for Moon and Minmus missions. I don't think I need to show you again. If you guys want to see more rovering, let me know. I'll show you my roverings. But the Ares helm should be coming in for an aero break in our next episode, and hopefully I'll be able to start putting up the Ares shield, which is going to be our fuel tanker and tugboat. But we'll get back to that and we'll see how that one works out. But in the meanwhile, as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.